Welcome to another episode of Impact Society. We're live here in San Antonio. You can see the Alamo Dome behind me. I got two special guests on today. My brother from another named Damian Davis. And so we're going to have him on the podcast, unpacking his story. And then I have a new brother, and his name is Ren. And we're going to unpack his story as well and give you game today on this episode of Impact Society. Welcome back to another episode of Impact Society. I'm ready to have a conversation with these guests so that we can give you the game for your success. Let's open it up. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Peace and blessings, world. We come to you with the best intentions. We hope that anything that we speak about doesn't put you in ill manner or offend you, man. We are not here for that. We are here to build together, build as one, each one teach one.
That's
Each
right.
one reach
Each
one,
one
yes,
reach
sir.
one, each one teach one. That's right, baby.
I love it.
So let's unpack this. So I want to tell a little bit about your story and where you came from, because we all have some similar background, right?
Yes.
And we're gonna unpack a little bit about your background. You don't have to go too far, right?
Absolutely.
But we want to know who you were to who we see today, the man, the gentleman that we see today, and how did we get there?
First of all, man, all glory to God, all praise to God, man. Everything that I have now, I got it all legally now, and I got more to show than I ever had. I don't like to glorify the past, so I don't go into details on the past because I don't want to misconstrue things.
Right.
When you live in that lifestyle and you grow up in the 80s, your 80s baby, man, youngster, they kind of teach you different aspects of what being a man is, that a man is having money, a man is that pretty much having money.
Right.
And that doesn't, whenever you have that aspect, you do anything for the money.
Right.
And that's almost like a pimp, man. And that lifestyle that you come through where you really pimping out people, you pimping out your community, you pimping out women that you run into, you don't give a damn. You're just
Right.
trying to make sure that you get that income, even though you know better, because we're all born with real intelligence. You know, most of us that are the most intelligent didn't do good in school.
Right.
You know, most of the aspects of the ones I see successful, man, the school settings and the diagram they had in school wasn't enough for us. So I didn't do good in school. I was ready to leave. I was ready to dip. I was ready to go get what they said was a man, and I tripped out and went that wrong route for most of my life, man. I was a criminal for most of my life. I always had legal businesses, taxi cabs, drove trucks. I always was involved in the music industry, but I always had my foot in thinking that there was a cheat code.
Right.
Like all of a sudden I found some jewel. Man, that jewel was planted. That shit was a seed. They knew that we was going to go that route. They put it in our
Right.
community
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that reason.
Absolutely.
They know that we're going to take it down. We act
Absolutely.
like we found some secret thing, and all of a sudden it comes from overseas and it's popped right here, and it's some badass thing that nobody else could find, not knowing they gave it to us. They
Oh, yeah,
wanted
we-
us to do that. They wanted us to break that stuff down.
We're
They
definitely
wanted us
gonna
to kill
unpack
our people.
We're
They
gonna
want-
unpack that for
Yeah,
sure, because
that-
as an '80s baby, I'm an '80s baby. I
Yeah.
kind of got offended when you said we was old the other day. When
Yeah.
somebody
Y'all
asked you how
are old.
No,
Y'all
he
is old,
You
man.
asked how old he was. He said, "I'm old. I'm 41." I said, "Man, I'm 40. You can't say you old."
I don't
But
even know
I
that.
feel like J. Cole, we're the middle child, right? The '80s babies. A lot of people don't realize, like, the '80s babies, we're the middle child, because you have the original gentlemen, right? The OGs,
Yes.
the guys that are before us who, laid foundation stuff. But then when that COINTEL program came in, and all the movements that was to destroy the community, and it kind of created this transition, because now you have leadership, but at the same time, a lot of the leadership that's left over as the remnants of the crack epidemic and what the RICO Act and all that stuff did in the 70s to destroy black and brown communities and movements. And then you have this new generation, and we were like the '80s babies. They were like, we had a lot of crack parents on drugs, stuff like that. So we had to grow up early and go get it in a certain way. Now these youngsters, they're doing it a totally different way. They have no laws, no principles, no structure to whatever they want to do. And so there's a lost generation. There's a generation that was trying to but not doing it.
And our the ones that we looked up to, there was more testosterone because the food was different. Mm-hmm. They weren't doing the stuff they doing with the McDonald's and all that stuff back when we was growing up yet.
For sure.
It's like all this stuff, they weren't putting all these extra chemicals in this red dye. We understand. So men was actually men. They weren't how they were supposed to be per se, because they were too much stuck one-minded. They were dumb men. They were they're strong and teach you how to shake
Right.
your hand and all that stuff, but they really couldn't teach you how to treat a woman.
Right.
They couldn't teach you how to raise kids. All they could teach you was
How to
how
get
to
a
go out
job,
there and go
how
get
to
it.
work,
Yeah, you go
work
teach you how to go get a
hard,
job
yeah.
all day. They held the mask. They teach you how to keep your shirt clean and crispy and shake a man, look his man in his eyes, do all this stuff, break this down, stand on principles, don't do that, don't do this. They couldn't teach you the other aspect that we
Yeah.
needed at home.
Taxes.
Yeah, they couldn't. Yeah,
all
that
property,
the lawn,
Being a
yeah.
father.
Yeah.
Couldn't teach us that game.
Yeah.
So we had more of a man back then. Now they stuck with man, it's nuts.
The
It's nuts, the
brokenness.
stuff that they idolizing.
Yeah.
What were they saying? Broken knees? Man, I had a song called Guapa Knees.
Wait, what? Broken knees?
That's what my man
Yeah,
was saying. on
Matt
the,
Sapala, we was talking
man,
about
when he was
the
talking.
language of the broke is
Oh,
called
broken knees. I thought he
Had a-
said broken knees.
Yeah,
I
we
was
got
like,
it
what?
now. Broken knees.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
they
for
speak
sure.
in the dialect.
For sure,
I
yeah.
had a
Poverty.
song called Guapanese.
Yeah, black.
Man, you're supposed to be income orientated. How can you even be out here doing this and doing that and you ain't got that much tucked away? Like, what is you thinking, man? Like, you finna go blow your re-up and all that stuff. Like, they not even the same criminals that we were, man. they nuts. Like, if I was still in the mix, they wouldn't even be my type of criminals, these new
Yeah.
age gentlemen.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but all praise to God, man. If they would just pick up the day and age that we in with this cell phone that's just a walking, it's a all computer, it's everything that you want.
That's right.
The cell phone, that one cell phone that they get does everything
Unlimited
for you.
knowledge. You can
It
just
teaches you
download right
nonstop, but they choose to type in foolery.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they on the foolery all
Exactly.
day.
Why?
Like, that's not gonna do anything for you.
Yeah, absolutely not.
But man, that's just what they gravitate towards. So and then the estrogen is flowing too hard in them.
And
man.
I think where are the
they're not eating enough
the
vegetables.
close examples for them of someone on the good side, on the business side, that is approachable, that is cool, that is there, that they can see,
But-
like the ones that they see with the chains on, the way that
Yeah.
that's looking like, you know what I'm saying, how the image, how today wants them to look. What they talking about, what
Yes.
they doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Absolutely.
not saying that we have to dress the part and put the chains on.
I mean,
and-
I do though.
Yeah.
I do though. I
For
don't.
sure.
I don't try to
For
take
sure.
away the style. I don't try to take the implements. I got
It
the
ain't a lot of
slingshot.
U's out here, though.
I got the drop top caddy. I got the slingshot.
sure.
I got the different tools I need to pull up.
And that's
but that
why
ain't
you up
really
here.
stuff I like. It's just
I know.
I use that so I can reach the man, so I can reach these young men and show them a different way.
Yeah.
But it does nothing but bring more hate.
Let's talk about your entrepreneurship journey, because now you're an entrepreneur. You're a
Yes.
serial entrepreneur.
Yes.
You got a lot of things going on.
Man, I fail more than I win, but I'm gonna keep winning. I'm not.
Amen.
I've closed down more barbershops than people have ever opened because if they don't work, we just shut them down and move to the next one. We'll keep out the lease. We don't break the contracts. We'll make sure we finish the lease bill and the lease comes back to be up. If I can't get somebody to buy it out to do something else with it, we just shut it down. We just don't renew and go do something else. Because just like I was talking about leaving San Antonio, man, I'm not stuck to be anywhere. I'm stuck just to make sure that I make a way for my family and I make a way for my kids,
Absolutely.
my wife, and I show them the aspect of what a man really is.
That's right.
But I'm not stuck on, hey, I got to stay here. Hey, people always love to say, man, I'm putting on for my city. I'm doing this for my city. I'm doing this for that. Man, you're doing that for you, brother. You want people to glorify you. Like, you don't have to be there, man. You can go do this anywhere. You can provide anywhere. You don't got to be in the mix. You just want the people that you grew up with to say you did it.
Right.
But that's not that important.
The average wealthy person or entrepreneur is what they call mercurial. Mercurial means you're very fluid, right?
Yes.
So some people, what hinders most people's success is they're not willing to either get outside of their comfort zone. They're not willing to get outside of their city.
Yes.
They're not willing to go learn things they've never learned before. And so having that part of you where you're like, man, shoot, I'm going to go where the money's at. That's actually one thing that separates us from animals, right? Like a fish can't decide, you know what, I want to go on land tomorrow because I feel like I could have a better environment if I went to
swim
land.
a different stream. They swim the stream that God told them to swim.
Yep.
Absolutely.
They can't. You'll never see a shark swimming in a pond.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but humans, we have a different
Free will.
We have free will. We have something different from animals, and that is part of your divinity in a sense.
Well, every day that the sun goes down and the sun rises is a new opportunity.
That's right.
That's a new day. That's where everything ended the day before, and the only thing that keeps us attached to that is our memory. But just push it out, let it go. If it was that bad
where
of a
do you
day,
get that
sometimes you
from?
just gotta let it go.
Where do you get that being able to detach from those things? Or a lot of people a lot of people are born and raised in the same city, state that, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
How
I'm
do
a
you
south
get that?
side. I'm south side Austin, Texas, because south and north is different.
Yeah.
East is different. We grew up different mentalities back then. People didn't cross over. Most of the time when I went to the east or north, I ended up getting into an altercation or something before the night was over, just because we just didn't mix back then. You didn't girls that hung out with us didn't hang out with them because that was like you playing with the enemy type stuff. So back then it wasn't as fluent as it is where people can be friends and hang out like it is now, which is better. It's better that people are able to get outside of their area and travel
to an
outside of
extent. Because at the same time, some of these guys, man, they're infiltrating and betraying their own people, bro. Like, I just saw a rapper that would, man, these stories of these youngsters, man, and how they just betraying
They got
each
better
other.
guns, man. Them guns shoot crazy sharp. They don't even have any backlight. Like, they're not that much crazier than we were. We just were shooting pistols from the Civil War.
Yeah,
We
they got.
He said from the
that Dirty 30
He had the bayonet.
Yeah,
I forgot.
I had one of those.
I forgot y'all was from the 80s.
Yeah,
man. They had
man,
the
we had-
bayonet on
Look,
it.
you over here feeding.
You got to put the powder in
Look,
it.
like, you over here feeding his
Now
own
they got
thing.
these guns that are
He was
actually from
cutting
the
over
video.
Not a
Yeah.
Dillinger.
Yeah,
the
you
Dillinger.
know what I mean? So it wasn't that they were crazy with us that we were missing. We didn't aim with that thing. We didn't even know if it was set right.
Hey,
Like
they
now-
don't aim with it either, bro. That it got
that thing-
500 bullets in
Yeah,
it. It's
so-
fully automatic. They gonna swing it like a guitar, bro. It's crazy out here, bro.
Yeah, they're no
It's
different,
crazy
no
out here,
different.
bro.
But our goal is to inspire this new generation.
Absolutely,
Because this
absolutely.
new generation, just like what you said, they can easily get this podcast. They can easily subscribe to
Bro,
Patreon.
there's
They
a-
can easily
there's
do
a
certain
lot-
things that we can get them plugged
There's
in
a
with.
lot more outlets of opportunity and men that are leading that way. They just not looking towards them.
Right.
They're not looking towards them
See-
because the women aren't looking towards them.
Right.
Women really control the demographic of what a man's supposed to be doing. They're not holding men accountable no more. They're okay with them even playing both sides of messing with another man. Some of them, bro, like a majority, like they're okay. They even got these different lingos for it. You know, not to hurt anybody's feelings, but you're gay if you're gay. You're not playing both sides, brother. Like, there's no buy.
There's
Like,
no
you know
buy,
what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Come on, that's why I be saying you got to say it for what it is. Let's just say it for what it is and be proud of who you are. But when they're okay with them playing both sides when they find out. So women aren't holding men accountable. They're not making sure that they breadwinners. They're not making sure that they do something for them before they actually give them the sexual orientation. They're not making sure that they provide. They're not even making sure they get married.
So
So
that's
how y'all been with this man, have all these
Yeah.
kids, and you
Yeah.
ain't making them get you married after the first kid? That's not a conversation or something that you're pushing for. Where is you at mentally? Like, what are the women
But-
teaching the women?
But that goes back to they understood how to destroy a family
Yes.
was to remove the father.
Yeah, they
and then
put us
when
in these-
and then once you break the woman, then you can break society. But so they even had they interviewed predators, like the top predators in America. And you know what they said? The common thing.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
common thing that
Single moms.
they would look for: weak fathers.
Weak father.
Weak fathers, because the father could be in the household.
Yes.
But is he a weak father? Because we have that, right? There's macho men who are going to lead their family. They're going to tell their wife, "Hey, you shouldn't dress like that because I got to protect you," and stuff like. So you have those strong men, and then you have those weak men. They let their wife do whatever they want, all this stuff. And so when those weak men, predators, look and see, is that a strong father or not? That's what predators do. Now, that being said, if the predators know that a weak man is just as good as a gone man or an absent man, then what the enemy knows to do to destroy this world, and when I say enemy, I'm not just I'm talking about spiritual. I'm talking about even in the physical realm. There's a group of people that don't. There's a group of people out there that literally have an agenda to go out there and destroy other
the
people.
design.
So that being said, they had to remove the good men so that they could destroy the women. If they could destroy the women, they could destroy the next generation. Because right now, when you look at the LGBTQ movement, let's look at that, they had to start with a woman. They couldn't start with a gay man. Because and at the time, if they were going to market this, not everybody agrees with that. But I mean, you're lesbian, I mean, that's not that bad, right? So women had to lead the movement,
I
right?
ain't even think about it like that.
Women have to lead the movement. And so even think about right now when feminism, and think about the whore culture, what is it doing? It's women leading that. And that feminism, like your argument of telling these women, like, you don't tell me what to do with my body. You don't tell me my body, my choice, all that stuff. That is doctrine. And actually, if you go take this, go look at this up. All those doctrines come from Jezebel. Jezebel, the way that she was with Ahab and treating Ahab like, no, I know you're the man, but you ain't.
Jezebel's in the Bible?
Mm-hmm. Jezebel and Ahab. So Jezebel wanted to be the man. She wanted to be, and the fact that she could have multiple spouses and do what she wanted, but Ahab couldn't. And Ahab was supposed to be a righteous man, but because he gave or surrendered his authority to his wife, he became less than, and it destroyed his kingdom. And it's what led Jezebel to be such an evil woman.
Man,
right?
that's a real form of narcissism. They love to plant that on men because men try to be, well, they want to be in control, but you got to be in control. You don't need to be controlling. But the real form of narcissism is women, the way that they manipulate you and make you feel like you ain't shit and you ain't did shit and you're doing everything that's in power and your power to provide and you're doing the right thing, but they twist everything around to make it seem like they the victim. That's real narcissism.
So I have to play the devil's advocate. Seems like you two are on the same accord then.
Yes.
So you guys are both saying that that feminism in its roots is not a good thing.
No.
That I'm saying I have a daughter. I'm playing that I have a daughter.
I'm not saying
I
it's not
want
a
her
good
to have control of her body. You know what I'm saying? I want her to be very
Yes, she
respectable.
needs to be, yes.
So what are we saying here, guys?
We're saying that they're too loosely with it whenever
They're not in
whenever
control.
you're
That they're not in-
They
they're
think
not
they're in control.
If you
It's
walking
when
out,
they're
if you
being
walking out
taught-
wearing
Okay, guys. All right.
They're being
Ready,
taught.
go.
Yeah.
They're being taught
Yeah.
that they're being taught that their freedom is control. That if they get to do whatever they want to, that is freedom. And I actually read this book. It was by Timothy Keller, and it's called "The Reasons for God," if I'm not mistaken. And I believe it is. So in the book "Reasons for God" by Timothy Keller, he's talking about how some people think, being in a religion or faith is too structured and that you have no freedom. And what he says is, in structure is freedom. And he goes and uses the fish. If the fish decides that, he wants more freedom and wants to come on land, will that land sustain his life? No. And so even though he seems like he's limited because he can only stay in the water, it's actually where life is. And so when people don't have some kind of restraint, they don't have real self-control, they're not making the right choice. You can say my body, my choice all day you want.
What does that mean too? Let's clarify. When you
Because
hear
some
my
women think,
body, my choice.
Because some
what
women
does
think
that
if
mean?
I want to be a whore,
Okay.
I could be a whore.
Doesn't
but
that
you
go with
shouldn't
abortion?
Be,
That
but
goes
you-
with abortions, right? My body, my choice is about like abortion.
And abortion.
As far as I know. Like,
And abortion.
If
And
I should
how I
decide if
dress.
I get abortion or not.
But it's not just that one thing.
I agree with that.
Because abortion, you could abort the baby, right? Now, if the baby isn't life until it comes out of the womb, then why can a man, if he kills that baby, right? He kicks her in the stomach or whatever and kills the baby. How can he get a murder charge if it's not considered life? It is only considered life when it's a man involved. It's not considered a life when it's just a woman's choice, right? Now, if it's my body, my choice, it should be my dollar, my choice, right? But it's not. But the argument is never balanced. It's never the same. You as a Libra should know it's not a balanced argument. Same thing goes when a woman says, I should be able to dress how I want to dress. How? Because what you don't understand from a man's perspective is you going out there, we're men are trying to dominate in territory. That's the nature of a real man, a real alpha man. That business is war. So our goal is we're always having pissing contests. But this is why when real men, when they come into a room together, each man can automatically go into an authoritative, like, who's a little bit more leader? Can I back that leader? Should I be the leader, right? Women don't have that system. And this is why, you can go look that up, right? So this is why they need leaders. Well, think about all these arguments that women have had about my body, my choice, and it doesn't balance out with what they believe because they want a man that gives them all these freedoms. I should be able to dress how I want to dress. I should be able to abort the baby as many times as I want. I should do all these things. But then what you're doing is you're putting yourself at risk in more ways than one, and the man is trying to help you avoid that, right? Like when a female has sex with a man, he implants his DNA into her body, and that DNA stays with her for the rest of her life. So when we teach whore culture, what we're actually doing is we're creating mental diseases for women when they get older.
And when you say whore culture, you're saying that
they loosely have sex however they want to. They don't have to wait till they're married. Now, you as a father, and you got a daughter, is that okay for your daughter to say, hey, I want my body, my choice, Dad? If I want to go get 20 penises tomorrow, I should be able to do it. Is that okay? Are you going to be cool with that?
absolutely not.
No. Now, you being a good father like that, guess what? That daughter is going to grow up different from the daughter that doesn't have a father. She doesn't know what a man looks like. So when a good man comes in her life and is trying to protect the daughter, trying to give the daughter good advice, but she didn't grow up with a good father, so she can't find one. She don't know what he looks like, right? That's what we're going back to on the principles. Again, being the 80s baby, we're like the middle child, J. Cole's middle child syndrome. Because we did see a generation of grandparents and stuff like that, 30-year, 40-year marriages and stuff like that. And then we're looking at this younger generation. And I blame the dating scene. Because back then they didn't date like we do today. Today, they date too much. And what we're doing is we're practicing divorce.
I mean, they're living
Because
with
when
each
I don't
other
like
automatically.
you, let's quit.
They're living with each other automatically. Most cell phones you can't even get without a contract. They're not making any contracts for it. They're not making any standards. They're not setting anything.
Any requirements, like you
No
said
type
earlier.
of requirements. They're not holding
for
people.
sure.
They're not holding man accountable, but they're already living with him. If somebody pulls up right now, she says to her family, "I'm pregnant." It's almost normal. Oh, congratulations! Who's the father? They don't even know who it is. If she pulls up and says, "I'm married," they're gonna lose their shit. They're gonna say, "How could you marry this person? We never met him. It's a stranger. What is going on? How could you do this to us?" This woman just made a bond with God, and it's less congratulations than it is her conceiving out of wedlock and her being like this. Just the mental stain. They don't want men to be in control, but a man got to be in control. He's not supposed to be controlling. He can't control everything. Right. If she wants to be rambunctious, that's why you're supposed to divorce. If she wants to be all the way crazy and doesn't make them adjustments to change, then it's okay to get a divorce. People get too hung up on where they live and who they are with. If she doesn't want to do the right thing and it's really like
you gotta
that,
let
brother,
her go.
separate.
Peace and blessings.
And bro,
right
that's
there.
where the Quran gives you the guidelines and the thing. It's just a rule book. It's not to change anything that came before. It's not to change the Torah, the Gospels, or the Psalms. It is a guideline. Those things make no sense without that. It comes in as one. And so it can tag you the rule book, and it tells you these things. It tells you how to actually do it without abusing her. It tells you to shut your bed off. The first step, it says sleep on the couch. It says mediate with the family. Talk with her about it, like counsel the stuff. And then it says if she still doesn't want to listen, then you need to divorce. It even says spank her lightly. Which that really freaks people out. That's one of the reasons why they don't like it. Because how could you say in the book to put your hands on a woman? But it didn't say beat her like a dog. It didn't say do all this crazy stuff. It just said that if she can't, like she needs to wake up. She needs adjustment. Spanking lightly could have been anything. Could have just been saying, I'm going to divorce you if you don't. That's a whooping. It didn't have to. It takes things out of context. It doesn't have to be so extreme like they make it seem too extreme. But doing the right thing, that's on you. Like, if my wife wasn't going to change at some point and be the woman I needed to be, we were going to separate.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because I can't keep going living unhappy. I can't keep
not.
feeling like I'm
That's
not
right.
in control because I am in control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not leading us to destruction.
That goes back to what I said earlier. Like, right? Like that, some people think that I don't want controlling or I don't want, you can't tell me what to do or all this different stuff. But when you go back to it, when you look at math, when you look at science, there's all these principles and these rules of engagement in this universe, right? Like the law of density. That's a law of principles that the world and the universe and the earth follows. How can the earth follow more principles than you?
I mean, think about the concept that we're in now. You used to be able to call a man out and have a duel and shoot him down in front of everybody. Now, if you even have a verbal argument with
this
somebody,
is Texas. They got mutual combat.
But now
If I go up to you and be like, "But you engage in mutual combat," and you agree,
but y'all can both still
I
go
can
to
whoop
jail.
your ass.
Y'all both can still go to jail for disorderly conduct.
It
There's
has to
still
be in
other things.
So it has to be in a private area.
They bend the rules and make them to how they ever want it
Yeah,
to be.
so
any
That's what I'm saying.
man-made rule, I don't.
Let me and you be fighting like that. We're going to jail. We're inked up. They're gonna find some way to pop us. Then I'm on parole and I got a pass. I'm really smoked. Like I'm not now. I'm stuck. I didn't have any rights. There is no rights, and it might have been justified. You might have really disrespected me or disrespected my family. I can't even stand on honor no more. I can't do anything because they control us. They bring us down. The agenda that they have is working. It's working. It's hard. Now we had to find different ways. Now we got podcasts.
That's what I was just about to say.
And talk to people.
Let's
We're
talk
trying
about
to use
solution.
different tools.
Yeah.
We're trying to break this out. We're showing them how to the literacy, the financialness. And we're showing them. I'm teaching them how to go to barber school. I'm teaching them how to be 60 to 100,000 the first year when they come out as barbers. Multiple people have been successful. They don't give us our flowers about our brand and how we move, but a lot of people got the motivation and got the concept.
Three Kings Barbershop, man. Shout out.
Barbershop. Yeah, they got the moves and they got the game plan and they be able to see it done. from me and my partner Jacob, King Chile, we went and laid that foundation and we raised the bar. We made people do that. So now other barbershops raised the bar.
Say that.
Now other barbershops started making movements. Other barbershops started holding a little bit of accountability. But where it falls at, the difference between this barbershop and this bar, this business, this person, sobriety. If they not in control again of themselves, the same reason why whenever you go into a church house and you tell a woman, Lord said that you are supposed to submit to your husband, you're gonna hear the whole church make a huffing sound.
I ain't submitting to nobody.
Because they're submitting to a bum that's on drugs or drinking and has issues and comes home. He goes to work and then he's talking about going 50-50 and half on the bills. And the man's over there sitting on the couch drunk and just pissing on himself because he's getting wasted every day type attitude. Of course they don't want to submit to that.
Absolutely.
Why would they want to?
Absolutely.
Because they don't have sobriety. They're not in control of who they are.
They don't have discipline, bro.
No, but there we go. That's
they don't have discipline,
and
bro.
there needs to be disciplines on both sides.
And that's that light spanking.
There need to be discipline on
that's
everybody.
That light spanking.
Yes.
Not just women. Everybody needs a light spanking.
Oh, she need to
let's not nitpicking. We all the men too. The men too.
Yeah, so that goes back to, man, having good fathers. When you look at the COINTEL program, for instance, one of the prongs was cut the head off the chicken.
So we're blaming the COINTEL program for where we're at now. Hold on.
I mean, let's
not point fingers now.
No. No, it's not pointing fingers. It's a cause and effect.
I agree.
What they did. It's literal proof. The United States Supreme Court found the United States guilty.
The COINTEL
It's called the COINTEL program. So during the 60s, 70s, when the black and brown movement,
you got too much knowledge, brother. You got to be careful. Man.
Ain't no
you know
such
too
thing.
much. You spit too much. You teach stuff I've been around learning. You spit too much, brother.
But United States Supreme Court found the United States guilty for the drug trade in about 94, 96. Anyways, that being said, they found out it was called a COINTEL program.
Right after ExxonMobil stopped selling
they were
drugs.
using it to fund the war.
It was a 3-pronged program, and one of those prongs was cut the head off the chicken. This is why they killed Martin Luther King. This is why they killed Huey P. Newton. This is why they killed Fred Hampton. This is why they locked up Larry Hoover and Chief Malik. This is why they did all these things to take all these good fathers out of the neighborhoods and out of the families, so that once you remove the father that will protect the domain, they know you got left as weak fathers.
Come on,
and those
man.
Weak fathers don't know how to teach their kids.
Man, these brothers,
they don't know how to mentor the youngsters. They don't know how to help the woman learn.
Let's take it to another stop. These men out here, these young men, are locking up gang handshakes and hand signs with homeless gang members that are out here living on the streets, not taking care of their kids.
All these
smoking
renegades.
meth. They sitting there taking fentanyl. There's no accountability. They locking up gang hand signs and proud to be a member of that with him.
Of homelessness.
Come on, brother. They out here living in the woods, in the streets, and on their last leg begging for a soup. And they sitting there locking up in handshakes and gangs in these prisons and jails with them to this day.
So
you
what
go right now
are
to
we
the prison
to do?
system, you're gonna see all these.
Each one reach one.
Each one teach one.
Each
You're
one
gonna see
teach
all
one.
these gentlemen glorifying the foolery, and then you see the God-fearing men. They ignore it because they don't want to go to that church house. They don't want to go to that mosque. They don't want to go down there to that service. They don't want to
because it ain't
take
cool.
it to the next level.
It ain't
well,
cool.
they're not rapping about it.
Yeah.
It's the music.
So who control the cool? Yeah.
Man, if you listen to the music, what they say, that if you listen to the music, you can tell the mindset of a man, the mindset of the community. Just listen to the music that they're listening to. Pay attention to what they. And shit, I'm not
Shout
saying
out
we
to
don't
J.
listen
Cole.
to it. I'm not saying sometimes that music don't light up that fire, but I know that when it's lighting up that fire, I need to turn it off. Because I'm going too far back. I done put on this Jeezy. I done put on this, the music is taking
He
me
done just
back
started
down that
standing
time.
over the stove with his hands. He was rubbing his hands over the
Come on,
stove,
that No
man.
Limit. I'm listening
Stop
to that
it,
Master
man.
P. Yeah, Master P going, yeah.
Then your kids walk in, Dad, where's my cereal?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm jumping
snap.
out.
Let me snap back, man.
Yeah,
He got to snap back to
That's
reality,
that
man.
Yeah, but it's the balance. It's knowing who you are. It's knowing where you're supposed to be. A lot of people don't know who they are. If you ask them who they are, they're going to get confused. They're going to flip over. They're going to give you aspects of what they do, but they're not going to tell you who they are. They're not going to say, man, I'm a God-fearing man. They're not going to say those things because they don't fear God. Just like we say, we get the devil too much punishment. They fear the devil more than they fear God.
Yeah.
But the devil serves God. Why are you not worried about God punishing you on earth? Why are you not worried about burning right here? Why are you not worried about that punishment on earth and in hell? Because I still don't know if I'm not going to hell, because fire is a form of purification. I always say, man, I'm working on parole. I know I'm going down there for a little bit, but I'm just hoping that there's relief and I reach heaven. I hope that on the day of judgment, he does give me the little bit of relief.
That's what
Because
grace
I
is.
know I lived too wrong most of my life. That's why every day I'm trying. They say you can't buy your way into heaven. I think that you could work on doing things that these stuff does give you notches. The good that you do out here and the good that you do every day does get you a little closer to maybe I'm good. And people need to see like that. They need to see the gems. We just don't see anything that's going on. When we eat something, we don't see the fatigue. Like, you know how characters are in video games and stuff? You eat something, you see it take away a piece of your life. You do something,
Or it
you
boosts
might
you
gain.
up,
Like,
yeah.
we could see that. Like, even this conversation, we could see the recharge in us right now, the energy that's flowing, and how we're recharging ourselves and recharging our soul
Yes, sir.
and recharging our heart right now. We would have more of these conversations.
For sure.
They would want to be out there in the street right now, sitting on the grass having these conversations, but they don't see it. They don't see how the ill and the destruction and all that negativity is killing them. That's why they're getting diseases. That's why they having ill matters happen to them, because the negativity and energy that they put into themselves is taken away from their value.
And they say the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom, and it has to go back with the fact that if you don't have any fear of repercussions or anything, you're a renegade. You're out there.
If your wife doesn't fear God, how's she gonna fear you?
Yeah. And now that being said, I want to point this out because this is one of my favorite scriptures. Is what really helped change me, and it's what keeps me. It says, "I thank Christ, our Lord," is 1 Timothy chapter 1, who has strengthened me because he considered me faithful, putting me into service, even though I was formerly a blasphemer, a persecutor, and a violent aggressor. Yet I was shown mercy because I acted ignorantly in unbelief. And the grace of our Lord that is more abundant with the faith and love that's found in Christ, it is a trustworthy statement deserving all full acceptance that Christ came into the world to save sinners, among whom I am the foremost. I'm the worst sinner. And yet for the reason that I found mercy, so that in me as the foremost sinner, the worst one, Christ might demonstrate his perfect patience as an example for those who believe in him for eternal life. Now to the King, eternal, immortal, invisible, only God, be honored, glory forever. Amen. That is a scripture, like when you talk about that, because sometimes I think that condemnation where we deal with, like, am I going to heaven? Me personally, I deal with it all the time. Like, I know all the evils I've committed, and if God sent me to hell, man, I deserved it. I know I did, right? But even though I know I deserve the penalty, I live every day as if, man, I just thank God that I got grace, that I've got.
I mean, science
so the gratitude and
science shows us. I mean, there's 7 layers of the earth, right?
right.
There's 7. That's 7
they
layers.
say.
It's 7
What they
layers of
say.
atmosphere.
Brain, skin.
That's the 7 layers of heaven. That's the 7 layers of hell. It's showing us all the time. It's there. The scientific facts. The lava is not in the middle of the earth for nothing.
Right.
It's coming one day. Well, that's what's going to burn us. It's going to burn everybody that's planted in the ground. That's what's going to get us ready to be purified to go to heaven. You ask me, I can't say that that's factual or that's law, but you ask me, the lava is going to raise one day and it's going to burn all the bodies that's buried inside the thing. And it's going to burn us, and some of us going to burn longer than others.
So how do the listeners get plugged in with the movement that Ren's on?
I Hustle for God on I Hustled and the number 4 God on Instagram, or 3KB_512. We're not closed-minded. We're not gatekeepers. We've helped people actually build their barbershops out. The brother helped me build my first barbershop out, and I came back into the company as a barber. I worked my way back in as a barber. I was smart enough to tuck my money and capitalize on the thing, and I bought out his investors that were with him. I bought them out, so I bought the company back from having other people in. So now I became a 66% majority holder on the south side, and he owned his Lakeline, and then I had percentage of one shop and another shop that was in there in Lakeline. But I went in and told him, look, you keep all that. Let me buy you out with opening up another location in Round Rock, and then we'll just gap everything out that we do now for 50-50. Let me be 100% owner of Barton Creek, you 100% owner of Lakeline, and then we just start putting barbershops all over the city wherever we could.
And then you also have something when guys are coming out of prison.
I had a movement where it was One Love, One Life. But I got to revamp it, man. It didn't last like it was. We still talk to brothers that's going in. I still got brothers that go over there to Pack 2, Pack 1. We help feed the Ramadan and different stuff like that. And we work with brothers when they come out. But brothers get so lost in their family get to condemning them behind their faith system. They talking to them bad because they don't want to eat pork. Like, they talking to them bad because they don't drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you ain't gonna have a drink. Just
But everybody's gonna down you when you want to try to
they
do
wanna,
right.
they
Everybody
bring
want to.
That's the only time.
Hell with them.
Bro, I don't got the financials to make sure that a lot of these brothers are okay when they come home. So I'm in a predicament where I got to revamp it and restart it. And for me to actually be able to help people, we need to have a halfway house. We need to have a home that they can actually go to and they can detox from all that the lifestyle that they keep forcing on us. The stuff they keep forcing on our head, making it seem like we're doing wrong. Like, what is wrong with my brother not having a drink? What's wrong with him being okay with how he eats? It's not just the pork he's supposed to stay away from. He needs to stay away from that McDonald's and all that trash too. He needs to stay away from all these chemicals in these food and try to eat actual grains and stop eating bleach. It's not, the scriptures don't just talk about that. People just get hung up on that. But it talks about the artificialness. It talks about so much stuff that we're not supposed to conceive. We're not supposed to be conceiving organs and all this crazy stuff that people eat. You know, they making chitlins and menudo and all that stuff. You're not supposed to eat the scraps. I get that it tastes good because of seasoning. But if you get to chewing on that piece of organ by yourself, that thing is disgusting, man. Like,
A rubber band.
Eating that, bro? Why you eating that booty noodle,
We're going
bro?
to need to figure out how USDA is going to put the word organ next to
I
it
just
on the
don't
menu
understand why.
so it'll start deterring people from wanting to
They
eat the
glorifying
organs.
these scraps because it makes you
Bro.
feel good when you're with your family. I get the concept of it. Just like these holidays, it feels good. But they're bullshit.
They are.
They all come from paganism and trash.
Yeah, Christmas
and
was
foolery.
banned and illegal all the way
this
up
time
to
of
the
year,
late 1800s.
This time of the year, I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm horrible because I
yeah,
don't
me
want to
too.
celebrate stuff. But it's not that I don't want to be with family. It's not that I don't want to see my kids happy. I buy them toys all year long.
Yeah.
Birthdays, we do them huge. Like, it's
Yeah.
not that I'm not trying to have that lock in, bro. I'm not against that. I love it. Like, that's what gets me going every day. I wake up hugging my kids and holding my kids, man. My kids still sleep with me in the bed when they want to. You know, like,
Right.
I love my babies. Like, man, but it's the way that society makes you feel like you're a piece of shit if you're not going with the norm.
With the wrong.
And that's the way they're grabbing these gentlemen when they come home from prison is they've been in that boy, they've been refined, they've been working out, they've been studying, they come in, they the best version of them right now.
And they want to come home
and
and
then
shine,
come
bro.
home and brothers is
And
just shitting on them.
Yeah.
They not, their family is pushing them right
Hurry
back to the
up.
dump.
Why, what's
they
up,
did
man?
it to me.
You sleeping on my couch? Dang.
Bro, I
you
didn't even want to
Please.
drive without a license.
Oh, please,
I didn't even
man.
want to drive without a license. One of my family members told me, like, you scared? Like, almost like,
It forcing you to do the bad.
it's a woman, man. This a woman told me this. It's not supposed to be telling me this. And I didn't talk to her for 5 years after a while.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It took me a long time because y'all really wanted me to be the old me.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all really was hoping to capitalize on my downfall again.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all really wanted me to be destructive, bro. Like y'all enjoy that. Like y'all always pressured me to be that. Like y'all gonna act like it's all me, but y'all pressured me into that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know what my mistakes are was not making the choice to do the right thing. But I still know the seeds that y'all planted and the people y'all brought around. I didn't randomly meet that person when I was in middle school. That person showed me how to break down them drugs and show them drugs. That wasn't my friend.
Man,
that was somebody you brought around.
Everything
you know
we're
what I'm saying?
dealing with today,
That wasn't my
identity
people,
issues, sexuality issues, it's
Yeah.
all because somebody heavily influencing
Not just the women.
and condemning
Why are we
you if
so
you don't
cool?
believe
Show
it.
you. Show
Why
you
are we
this.
so
I'ma show you
okay?
this. I'ma show
Why
you
are we
this.
so okay with your young kids and these boys sleeping with a girl? Why are we so okay with them having underage sex? That's really against. That's pedophilism. Why are you teaching your son to have sex with an underage girl, even though he's underage? It's still underage sex. And why are we okay with that? Like, why is it not against the law? Period. Like, why is it not against the law? Period for them to be having sex at 14 years old. Why is it, there's an age limit to it, it's okay. Bro, that should be a law. It should be some type of reform in classes. I ain't saying that he's supposed to be condemned and they're not supposed to be condemned and go to prison forever. But they need to be some sort of misconduct law or something going on. And why can a man sleep with another man's husband and he's not going to jail? I mean, another man's wife. Like, how is he not going to jail?
You caught it. Yeah,
Excuse me, not another
my
man's
face.
husband,
Hey,
not-
my face. Sorry, I was
my
with
bad, my
there.
bad.
I'm gonna say, whoa, pause.
Why can't somebody intervene in somebody's marriage and that's not a felony?
Yeah.
Or a misdemeanor? Why is there not any repercussion for these things? Whenever I have a contract, I built into this person. I planted all these seeds and made this person beautiful. I made sure that this person's hair was done, nails done, that she got that glow. She don't have to work because I provide. Why is it okay for this man to intervene and bring nothing to the table and mess up my marriage? And he doesn't go to jail. Why is that not a law?
Yeah.
You feel like we should fault him more than we fault her?
I think you should fault them both, but definitely him before her because he knew better. You early ask him, he's probably going to confess he believes in God.
I'm not going to lie, I'm always blame the man.
And what if she pulls this?
But they don't do that. Women really say men are okay with it more than
If you
women
got,
are.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying though. I'm not. I'm always. I want to play the other side. You guys are pretty much on the same accord.
If he was tricked, that's different.
Okay.
But if she professed that she was married from the jump,
I'm married.
But I'm having problems. That don't mean it's okay, bro. That don't mean it's okay to interlock on that stuff.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm still gonna blame the man. I'm gonna blame the man, and I'm gonna blame the other man, because when that other man knew that she got a relationship and she's telling you that she has a hard relationship, you should have looked at that's your brother.
And most of the time,
you should have never did it. But that's where we go back to, like, all this divisiveness that's going on.
Yes.
Nobody's looking. Family, right? We're supposed to be looking at each other like family. Everybody's a family, right? And so, man, all the divisiveness.
my brother, I key. I mean,
Yes, sir.
it's like we brothers. We a brotherhood. Mm-hmm. But man, if that stuff's not being said, sometimes I don't feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. 'Cause I don't know. Like, I want to hear you say, my brother. I want to know that you fear God. I want to know that you have some sort of connection with God. I want to know that you praying to the Father of Abraham.
Oh, for sure.
I want to make sure that it's our Father, Lord in heaven.
Oh, yeah.
That there is nothing else.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yeah.
Thy kingdom
I want to
come.
make sure it's that, because that's
Yes,
what
sir.
we're here for. Jacob, Isaac, and Ishmael. And if you don't have them foundation and them laws, man, I'm gonna be a little nervous about being around you, because I don't know what you up to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Woo! Great conversations, guys. So we've got more to unpack. We're going to keep carrying these conversations because these brothers are joined.
I apologize, we ain't talk about the
in
barbershop
Impact
a lot,
Society.
man.
No, it's
But
all
look, I
good.
got CMOS Barbershop Embroidery. We're trying to get into the podcast movement. I've done a
Not trying, we doing.
Yeah, I had my we're applying. No trying, we're applying.
Amen.
Yeah, I had my hands in a few different businesses, aspects. They failed. But man, I won on the barbershop game so far, and I'm hoping I win on other aspects.
He didn't fail. It's fail, F-A-I-L, his first attempt in life. He didn't fail.
Yeah,
He's
well,
just-
everything's not gonna make it. Yeah. Every seed's not gonna grow.
It's all a learning. It's all a learning curve to get you. It's the pull back to pull you forward. It's a slingshot effect. You got to get pulled back first so you can get that forward motion.
Absolutely.
So that's all it was.
But love the conversation, guys. These brothers locked in with us and with Impact Society Movement and helping brothers out there, helping brothers and sisters across this world and especially across America learn how to transform their life, learn how to elevate their life. And sometimes we're going to have hard conversations. Sometimes these conversations you're not necessarily going to agree with. But again, maybe you should check yourself as to why you believe what you believe. If I believe 2 + 2 is 5, I might be wrong and I might need to check that. I had one time a guy said, is it 6 or 9? And I said, and he said, it just depends on what perspective. I said, no, it's an integer. It's either A6 or A9, and one of us is right, one of us is wrong, and you got to find out. And so if you're not having hard conversations, if you don't have brothers like this challenging your conversation, how you truly going to grow? So this is another podcast of Impact Society, and like I said, each one reach one, each one teach one. This is Impact Society.
Yes, sir.